Hello, my tubies and my Teletubbies. This is Sheila Truelove, truly loving you. And today's topic for discussion: should I stay or should I leave? And one of the reasons that I decided to speak on this topic is because of an email that I was sent. It was something I saw on Facebook, and I also have my channel posted on Facebook along with Instagram. And the person got my email address and access to my phone number because I do make myself accessible, if you will, because I am an advice coach. And one of the questions that I received, which is right here, I want to share this with you, and I want you to give me your take on this situation. Because personally, I already know. Hold on, let me just put something on the screen. Something, my hair looks crazy. Like I said, it's tight curls. Again, tight curls. I hate it, but it is what it is. And I just wanted to do this live with you because we're going to do live, okay? The question or the discussion that I had with this person through email that they sent me. Tell me, what do you think? She says, "Hello, Miss Truelove. I hope you don't mind me sharing with you, but I'm in a very upset state. My husband kicked my daughter out of the house at 1 o'clock in the morning, 9 months ago. She's now 19. He's not spoken to her for 9 months and is refusing to call or text her. My daughter now has mental health issues with stress of how she left the home and the years of him not reaching out to speak to her. On Saturday, he told me she's not welcome to come to the house over the Christmas holiday. I'm so upset, and I can't understand how a father could cut his own daughter off this way. Her birthday was in October. No card or present was even given to her, or a mention that we are getting anything for her birthday. So her birthday was down to me. So now it's Christmas. He's not getting her a present or anything. It's me buying the presents and everything. Helping her when she needs emotional support. I am the one who's there present. I have to be the mother and the father. I feel so angry. Been with this man, this is the clincher for me. I've been with this man for 30 years, putting up, listen to this, putting up with his explosions of anger for the slightest and the littlest of things. Since she left home, he's terrible. He won't speak to me either, unless he's shouting. The only time he speaks to me is when he is shouting and screaming. Don't know how much, she says, I don't know how much more of this I can put up with. Then he's always constantly blaming me that I'm the one who is causing him to be angry all the time. It's so difficult trying to communicate with him. He blames me for everything." So this is a letter that was sent to me from one of my tubies, well, actually one of my Facebook people, and then they have access to me, so I guess they forwarded that to me. Yeah, of course I addressed the issue. Why, I have to first ask, why did he kick your daughter out? She was 18 years old. That's still young, and I don't think that a person should leave home, uh, you know, um, just to be out there on their own. Why did he kick her out? Number one, was she disrespectful? Was she drug using? Was she like stealing from the house? Every time you look up, she's stealing something. Because I've been watching a lot of the soft white underbelly on YouTube, and I've also been watching a lot of the AML life. Check it out when you get a chance. It's on YouTube. And a lot of these youngsters, they're stealing, they're on drugs, they don't want to follow the rules of the house. So anytime you don't want to follow the rules of the house, it's time for you to go. And sometimes the women, it takes, because they tend to be a lot of the women, not me, but they tend to be a lot more emotional, opposed to the men being more logical and reasonable. So in order for me to really fully address her um, properly with the best answer, I have to understand, why did he kick her out of the house? Okay, that's number one. Number two, she's been with this character for 30 years. Let's not even talk about um, the daughter. Let's just take her completely out of the picture. Forget that. The point is, every time you speak to me, it has to be with you screaming, yelling, and hollering at me. No, that's not going to work for me. So my question is, why would you sit here with this dude for 30 years? 30 years of misery. I'm sure maybe the first 18 months up to 3 years, everything was gravy and the fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? But why would you sit here and, um, you know, put yourself 30 years of this? You've been miserable? And I have received several phone calls, because I do phone calls only when it's emergency and the person is like at their wits' end, then they could call Sheila True Love. And I have my Cash App, $ Sheila True Love. It's on a donations basis. Whatever you decide to donate, whatever you can afford. I don't know. It could be. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay. And I will take the calls, because sometimes people just really need to talk. They need to vent. They need you to just don't give advice, just listen. A lot of the time, the most of the calls that I get from people is because they want a different way of looking at the situation. Can you help me? Because I feel so hurt. I feel trapped, and I know that this person was not good for me, Miss True Love. That's what they say. At the same time, I seem so stuck. You know, so they need someone. Let me tell you the way I do things. When I'm taking these calls, I help you come to the conclusion. I help you get the answer. I'll ask certain questions, and then you'll answer them. And like, so one of the questions that I ask, if your best friend was going through this and your best friend came to you with the exact same with the exact same problem that you're discussing with me, what advice would you give your best friend? Or what advice would you give your daughter if she was in the same situation that you're in? What advice would you give them? That's one of the questions. So that way, my clients, or my tubies and my teletubbies, because I love you very much, and I try to use cute little names to rub your belly and be cute and all that, to show some kind of, whatever. And what kind of answers would you give your best friend if they were in your exact same situation? And then I asked them several other questions, because I'm not going to sit here and give you the answer. I'm going to help you and me together. We're going to sit here and we're going to figure this out really together. What do you think is the best way to handle this situation? Because I feel that when you do it that way, it proves to be the most effective. When you help people to find the solution to their own what problem, it helps them to see things more clearly, wake up to it on your own, discover it for your own. My hair looks crazy and I can't stand it, but that's okay. I suppose. Yeah. I put some lipstick to try to dress this situation up, but whatever. Okay, back to my therapy session. But and another thing that I find to be very troubling, and that it really bothers me, and this is just between you and me, Tubies. I would never say this to my clients. At the same time, I'm going to say this to you. This person is willing to put up with 30 years of abuse from some dude. And if you've seen my previous videos, I have issues when it comes to putting up with people who are not your family, your flesh and blood. You're putting up with so much. You put up with psychopaths. You put up with narcissists. You put up with borderline. You put up with sociopaths, husbands like that. But when it comes to your parents, especially your mothers, you would take your mother and throw them underneath in the garbage so deep you can hardly find them. At the same time, you're willing to put up with so much crap from some dude who's not your flesh and blood. He's my husband. He's not your flesh and blood. He could be your husband this year, and he may not be your husband next year, especially when you look at the divorce rate and the separation rate. That freaks me out. Of course, I would never tell this to my clients. At the same time, that's always in like the front part of my mind. How is it that these women put up with so much mistreatment from dudes, and yet when it comes to your parents, especially your mothers, you have zero tolerance? Where is your zero tolerance when it comes to crap like this? I don't know. I know everything about soul ties, and you can have soul ties to your family members too. Soul ties doesn't just come from a male-female type relationship. Soul ties could also come with family. You can have soul ties. But that's neither here nor there. At the same time, I just wanted to share this. Should she stay or should she dead this? 30 years. Every time this dude speaks to her, it's abusively, it's disrespectfully. What advice do you think that I gave her? That remains to be seen. Now, looking at my previous videos or all my videos, how do you think Sheila True Love would handle this situation? With someone who I've already tried to communicate with you, because I know for a fact that without communication there is no relationship. Okay, without respect there is no love. Without trust, there's no reason to even continue this. We're just wasting each other's time. Capricorn, don't waste my time. I promise I won't waste yours. Don't waste my time. Okay? Do you think this person should stay or should they go? You try to go into counseling with this character, and if this character chooses not to go into 30 years, I'm sure she must have suggested, look, sweetheart, this is problematic. Whatever. Yeah, we definitely need some counseling. Okay? Now, and if this person is not willing to go into counseling, and I'm not talking about counseling for 1 or 2 sessions, I look at Dr. Phil on a regular basis, and when a family is in crisis, that takes like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, sometimes a year for the family to resolve this. Anytime something is worth something is valuable, then it's worth fighting for. And I think family, especially when it comes to your flesh and blood, that's worth fighting for. What do you think? That's worth fighting for. Anyway, I have something else that I want to share with you. When it comes to who I love and adore, I'm done with relationships. Don't want to get married. I like being single because it's easier, as you can see. It's just so much easier, especially when you listen or read your Bible at 1 Corinthians chapter 7. It recommends staying single because it's so much easier, especially for women. I believe that marriage benefit men so much more than it benefit women, because women usually put 90% of the work when it comes to trying to make these relationships work, try to keep it interesting. Look at how she dressed. She got to wear this. She got to put on this. She got to do that. She's doing everything. She's jumping through hoops to try to keep it interesting. She's the one who's making his doctor's appointments because he don't want to go to the doctor. He don't recognize the seriousness of trying to take care of his health. She has to pretty much stay on top of that. I'm still troubled by this stupid hair. At the same time, she's the one who pretty much manages the home. I don't know how other women's homes are. I know that in my home, my husband was the boss. I'm the manager. I manage things. I work a full-time job all the time, so I contribute to paying the bills. Okay? I work a full-time job. I come home. I make sure that the bills are paid. He makes sure that the money is there. He's the boss. When you're at a job, the boss of the company is his company. It's his company. This is supposedly your husband's kingdom. It's my queendom. Don't get it twisted. He is the boss. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. I manage the home. I make sure I cook, I clean, laundry. His feet hurt. I'm massaging. I'm this. I'm managing the god dog at home. You know what I mean? And this is why I'm saying women be doing like 90%. Dudes, they put in 10%. And a lot of the times they can't even do that right. And I'm not trying to be critical or criticizing a girl who could never be pleased. No, I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm going to keep it real here. And if we could all keep it real, because the truth, like the Bible says, know the truth and the truth will set you free. Women do most of the work in these relationships to try to keep them interesting, to try to keep them alive, to try to keep them well and up. No. I am single. Like I said, you have a lot of people who are single and they don't want to be. They want to find a man. I personally, let me tell you my view. You still believe in the fairy tale? I am at a very ripe, beautiful age where I am seasoned enough to know I don't believe in fairy tales anymore. I don't. Am I interested in ever having a relationship? No. I'm done. I'm done. Stick a fork in my rear end. Stick a fork, sweetheart. I'm done. I don't want it. Why? Because when I look at single, let's just spell the word out. SINGLE. Now let's look at the acronyms of that word single. Single, it means stress is now gone, life's easier. And it's true. It's easier to be single, especially for women. Because when I think about Genesis chapter 3, get your Bible if you don't believe me. Trust me. Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, it says, if a woman is married, her craving will be for her husband. And will he treat her and love her the way Christ loves the church? Will he love her and value her and treat her amazingly? That's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that her craving will be for her husband and he will dominate. Dominate is abusive. Do you want somebody to dominate your life, tell you what to do? You're a puppet. You're a puppet. Dominate means that everything has to go his way, pretty much. So the Bible says that Genesis chapter 3, verse 16, she will crave for her husband and he will dominate her. Is he going to crave for her right back? No. Is he going to love her and treat her like Christ does the congregation and like Christ treats the church? No. He's going to be abusive. And then when you look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, I keep looking at like the Bible says, the Apostle Paul, he says, if you have to choose between being single and married, he says, if you get married, you'll do okay. He said, you'll do okay. But if you stay single, you'll do better. You'll do better. And he tells women, if you are a widow, stay that way. If you are single, please, he says, stay that way. That way you can focus more on the things that are of importance. And if you're going to have to focus on a man, focus on the man that's going to treat you right, like Jesus Christ, Yahweh, Jehovah God. If you're going to have to put all your energy into any relationship, should it not be them? Something that where, I have no problem with hard work in a relationship. I have no problem with that. If it's worth it. 9 times out of 10, this day and age, we are in the 21st century. It's not like back in biblical times. It's not like back in olden days. I don't even want to be back in biblical times. I don't want to be back in the olden days either, because women were not allowed to have an education. You were not allowed to vote. You didn't have a voice. You were property of more than a human being. You was like, this is my property. Really? Sexuality for a woman, like my uncle, because he's he was old school, he passed away, but he said women are not supposed to enjoy sex. They're supposed to just lay there. They're supposed to lay still for it. Really? That's like saying we're not even human beings. We're not even whatever. Like I said, marriage, it benefits men so much more than it does women, which is why I'm confused when it comes to why is it that you find men who want to fight getting married. The only reason why men don't want to get married is because that means that they have to, it's sexual. It's for sexual reasons. They want to just sleep around with different sexual women, which is stupid. And I can certainly understand why God created a woman as a man's helper, because men lack common sense. Okay? And when I say that for two reasons. One is when you look in the book of Proverbs, it speaks about wisdom, wise, being wise. And when it speaks about wisdom, it always puts wisdom in a female form. It's always in a female form because women are wise. The second reason why I say this is because the reason why they don't want to settle down or be with just one female and jump around is for sexual things. But they're so foolish, and I'm trying not to be condescending or demean anyone. They're so foolish. They don't never stop to think that I don't care what woman you with. You could be with Beyonce, Rihanna, or whatever her name is, Nicki Minaj, and what is that other girl who's crazy as hell? And you all you're gonna get is you're gonna bust a nut. You could be like, she could be throwing it back. She could be dressed up in all of this allure. She could be going all of this. And then when you finally get to it with her and she's going down on you or she's doing whatever the hell she do, what is the end point? See, this is where men are foolish. Well, I'm going to say beta. Beta men are foolish. Because when you're dealing with an alpha male, which is all I'm attracted to, I'm attracted to alpha men. I'm going to show you an alpha. I'm going to share an alpha male with you in a minute. Alpha men already know what the end point is with different women. You bust a nut. I don't mean to sound derogatory or tacky or hood rat or ghetto, okay, or trailer trash. At the same time, it is what it is. Because when all is said and done, the sneaking around, the whatever, and you're finally in the bed with this broad, and you're all on top of her, or she's on top of you, riding you like a pony, or what have you. Yeah, or you with some gay person on the side, what have you, whatever. And I do mean whatever. The end point is you're gonna bust a nut, something that you could have got from your wife. Only with your wife, you get to bust a nut. You get to have someone who loves you, somebody who got your back no matter what. You have someone who's doing cooking, cleaning, your laundry. Someone who, if you're smart enough, and I don't think so, anytime you're cheating, that's not a bright dude. That's a freaking beta. A beta means, I could say what a beta is. You know, a beta is nothing but a little broken little boy, a bitch, who's still trying to learn how to be a man. Alpha is already there. Alpha man is someone, first of all, he's insulted. An alpha male, when it comes to a woman pulling out her wallet to pay for this and pay, alpha men are insulted because they know that a man is a provider. And I'm not talking about he's supposed to spend his money on every time he goes out on a date. He has to be with, first of all, alpha male, He only, let me tell you what an alpha male, he wants nothing but A plus, A plus. You know how when you go to school, you want nothing but your scores to be A plus. You want nothing but the best. Alpha males will never be with no thought or caught out in the street walking around with some female who everybody done ran up in that. Are you serious? An alpha male insists on having nothing but the best. An alpha male, he is a faithful man because he already knows what that's all about. He already been out there when he was in his 20s, maybe his teens, his 20s, his 30s, maybe even his early 30s. By the time he hit 35, 37, bam! Either you are alpha or you are beta, son. What's up? So like I'm saying, when it comes to women sitting up here, I look at divorce court, paternity court, and all of these other relationship. Dr. Phil, I love Dr. Phil because he interviews these females who are going through so much. And Dr. Phil and his wife, you know, his wife is always there in the show. She's always there. Even she has to fall back and be like, whoa, really? So Dr. Phil gets to the point where he's like, what does this dude have to do to you, ma'am? You know, for you to wake up and leave. And you sit up here, she's, you know, cheated on her. He's disrespecting her all over the place. She's still there. Everybody in the audience is like, oh, what? He did all that and you still there? She's on the stage crying, hoping for people to feel sorry for her. You know what? I don't feel sorry for her. If you're gonna hate me, Tubies. You're gonna hate me, but you know how I am. I don't do things for the world's validation or people's validation. I am not afraid to speak my mind. In fact, those are the type of women that I admire. Women who women who are tough, women who are competitive, women who are not afraid to speak their mind, women who are strong, women who are strong, and women who are independent. And when I say independent, I'm talking about women. I don't want women who hate men because who got time for that? That's ridiculous. At the same time, I call an independent woman who don't have no man living in her house. She has no problem dating them, doing whatever the heck she feels she needs. But once his feet hit the floor, she shows him to the door. Okay? He needs to have his own place to live, his own car, a job. And I love and respect women like that, women who are tough. And the best example I can use to show you who I admire, like the type of personalities that I admire in a woman, there's this show going on YouTube. Her name is Murphy Brown. Murphy Brown, for all the old school people, I don't know whether you remember that show. That's the kind of woman I admire. And in my mind, I want to make a remake of that, but I want it to be the black version. I want it to be all brown skin. Basically, a long story because that's the kind of stuff I'll be thinking about. Like Shonda Rhimes. You know Grey Anatomy? Shonda Rhimes is the creator, the originator, the producer, the everything. She's an ebony woman. She's a Capricorn like me. She came up with Grey Anatomy, right? Mm-hmm. And and I want to come up with my own web series. You got to start off with web series, and I like these web series because a lot of these people who are making web series, Tyler Perry is picking people that I've seen Tyler Perry got a couple of shows now with people who I've seen from web series. But that's not what we're talking about here. But this is what I be thinking about. I'm not thinking about, oh, I want a man. Where can I find a man? Everything is about a man. Honey, I got other things to think about. Don't have time for that. Okay? Let's talk about making the cheddar. I'm interested in making the cheddar. And I got things in my head that, you know, oh man, I got a lot of things going on in my head. Like that show called Little House on the Prairie. These are wholesome shows, beautiful shows. And I just want to see the black version of it. Make the black version of Little House on the Prairie, of Murphy Brown. the black version of the Waltons. Decent, good shows. Only I want to see brown skin, brown skin. I don't care if they're Indian. I don't care if they're Trinidadian, because I'm Trinidadian. Okay? I don't care if they're African. I don't care if they're American, ebony folk, as long as they're brown skin. I want to market that more because every time you go on these shows, I got Prime Video, I have Netflix, I have Hulu, and when you're scrolling through to try to find shows or whatever, everything is light skin and people with pale skin and everything. No, I want to promote more brown skin. I want to market that. I want to advertise that. I want it in the movies. I want it in magazines. But you see, those are kind of things that my mind is focused on. Come on. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, ladies, there's so many more things that you have to be thinking about instead of, I got to find a man. I'm not worth nothing unless a man tell me I'm worth something. I want to be with a man. And then you have a lot of the dark-skinned ladies out here. There was a movie that I saw today. I want to share this with you. Oh, please. And there was this movie that I saw today. It was called Complexions. Beauty Comes in All whatever the heck. Anyway, it was about this dark-skinned female, and it showed the many things that she goes through, the hardships, the whatever, the losses, the whatever, and because of she had dark skin, whatever. But when I looked at that movie, I just kept thinking that even though you have this dark skin, she was absolutely amazing. And when you have this dark skin, you should feel love. You should love your complexion because you should feel empowered. You don't need the world's validation. When you look at yourself, you have to look at yourself through your own eyes. You have to look at yourself through your own eyes and see that you are absolutely gorgeous. This world, and let's keep it real, this world constantly validates light skin and pale skin. And dark skinned women, they need to be so grateful, you know, um, grateful to God that they don't need this world's validation. Forget this world validation, you know. Um, they need to develop the eyes of Christ. And when you develop the eyes of Christ, you start to see yourself through God's eyes and through Jesus Christ's eyes. And don't forget, see yourself through your own eyes, not the world's eyes. And when you see yourself through your own eyes, you look at yourself and you be like, OMG, I am beautiful. Freak that nonsense. I'm gorgeous. You know what makes you gorgeous? Because you have this dark, silky skin, which makes you even more beautiful. And you know what? That dark, silky skin is what makes you unique. And anytime something or someone is unique, let's keep it real. When something is unique, that makes you special. So when you're looking in the mirror at that beautiful, anti-aging, beautiful, silky, dark skin, the only thing you should see is you should be looking at yourself through your own eyes, not the world's eyes, because we already know what the world is promoting. Freak that nonsense. We're going to look at ourselves through our own eyes. And we're going to look at ourselves through the eyes that we know Christ wants me. I look in my look. Let me tell you something, and I'm not arrogant. I hope you don't think I'm how you say conceited or no. I look in the mirror every morning, and I be like, yes, yes. You are absolutely stunning, Sheila True Love. You're gorgeous because I see myself through my own eyes. I don't sit up here and need this world's validation. I don't need you to validate me. The movies, the magazines, marketing, advertisement, TV. We already know what they promote, honey. You have to have a healthy self-esteem. You have to be, well, I'm mentally healthy. Trust me, you ain't never met nobody more mentally healthy than Sheila True Love. Now, come on, I see myself through my own eyes. Screw that, whatever the hell. But anyway, we're getting ready to stick back to the topic. Oh, wait a minute. I want to tell you the name of that movie. No, you know what? I'm going to post the name of the movie down in my comments or what have you. Please check it out because it is so educational, informative, positive, uplifting, encouraging for everyone. And that goes for light skin, medium skin. You're going to see not only do dark skinned females or people go through crap, because the light skinned people and the whatever medium skin, they be going through it too. And when you look at that movie, it's going to break it down. It's going to break it down. So I'll post that in. At the same time, let's get back to, should I stay or should I leave? Okay, so now what we're going to talk about is, were you the problem? And we're going to be talking with, I think if you've seen my previous videos, Derek Jackson, who I adore. If I was to ever think about getting married again, I always want someone who's my equal. Going forward, I'm not going to sell myself short anymore. And I would need someone who's my equal. And so far from what he projects or portrays, this is it for me. I need somebody like this dude. Oh, God, yes. He's cute as all get out, too. Sexy. um, yeah. See how I lost myself because my moon is in Pisces. I mean, my Venus is in Pisces. So when it comes to love, oh, I do know how to love, honey. The best of love you'll ever get is from a Venus in Pisces. Because we understand, when you think about Pisces, is the last sign of the zodiac, the last sign, right? And then all the other signs, they got, all their energy is coming bam, 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 right into the Pisces. So Pisces, we understand how to handle each and every one of you folks. Long story with that. I'm sorry. But anyway, um, signs that you are not the problem in a relationship. Okay, so let's listen in.
Jackson here. So I was having a conversation with my homegirl over the weekend. She's actually a friend of the family, but she asked me that famous question: D, what is wrong with me? Or am I the problem? Backstory, she's had a couple of failed relationships. She was intentionally single for a little while, but then whenever she decided she wanted to start dating again, she honestly it just wasn't it. Dating just wasn't it. So she asked me that question. And before I even go further, let me say this. Sometimes, ladies, you are the problem. It is 100% possible to be the reason why your relationships don't work and all that other stuff. And we'll address that in a separate video if y'all want. But something I need to address also is that just because you've had relationships that have failed over and over again, just because you've been single for a while, just because your friends are getting married and you're not, it doesn't automatically mean you're the problem. And from what I know about this young lady, I know that she's not the problem. But the ways that I qualify this is by this. Like, it's 5 categories or 5 reasons why, you cannot possibly be the problem in your relationships that have failed or what have you. You may be a part of the issue or why it wasn't perfect, but not the reason why it failed, not the reason why you're single. The first one is if your relationships ended in betrayal or abuse. Now, when it comes to like cheating, I know a lot of people say, you can't make it. No. You can be the cause of a man not wanting to be with you no more. You can be the cause of a man being miserable. You can be the cause of a man wanting to leave you, but you can't put the address in his GPS as to where he ends up going. Especially, make him go there before he's officially out of the relationship with you. And I'm not even going to explain the abuse one. But if your relationships have ended in abuse or betrayal, you're not the problem. Second reason, or second way that you know that you're not the problem, is if you left because there were unkept promises on deal breakers. Things like, you want to have children. Things like, you want to get married. Things like you refuse to be with a guy who's just not going to work, not going to get a job, refusing to move out of his mama's house, something like that. And you clearly communicated that in the very beginning, but as time went on, you noticed there was no progress being made towards that. No, you're not the problem for leaving. You're not the problem for being single. It's really not your fault. It's just actually not your fault. The third way that you know that you are not the problem when it came to your past relationships being failed or being single or whatever is if you had to choose between your growth and his comfort zone. If that was the reason why a relationship ended, he knew from the very beginning you were ambitious. You wanted higher in life. You wanted more in life. You wanted to travel. You wanted to, get in different.
Yeah, I agree with him. on the first and the second, and this is the third point that he was making. Where if you looked at my video, I have Sheila True Love and my failed relationship and why it failed. If you know that you are ambitious, I'm very ambitious. I'm a Capricorn. I mean, look at the Capricorn traits. Very ambitious, workaholic, which is why my relationships didn't work. I'm not going to say I messed up. I just didn't get people who were my equal. Okay. Um, if you were a pay, how about this? Let me put it this way. Let me rephrase that. There are times when couples grow apart. There's times when some people are growing, you're continuing to grow, and then your partner is still staying stuck at this level. We okay, let's just say we didn't even meet at this level when I met mine. No, but you grow. You're supposed to grow together. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons going forward. I don't even want to deal with anyone unless it's an alpha male. I'm an alpha female, and with an alpha male, I think I've already made it clear what an alpha male is. An alpha male will never be with a woman who has no boundaries, who has no standards, who have no morals. An alpha male, he wants a woman who's A plus. He's A plus. An alpha male, he doesn't cheat because he already knows what that's all about. He did all of that when he was in his teen years, his 20s, his early 30s. He already knows the only thing I'm gonna get out of it, regardless of what woman I am with. I could be with Rihanna, Beyonce, what is Nicki Minaj, what is that other one? The crazy one. She's crazy. Um, she got this new video out with my pussy. She crazy. He already knows, regardless of what female I'm with, the end point is going to be I'm a bust a nut, and sometimes it's going to be explosive. Sometimes it's going to be mediocre. Sometimes it's going to be mild. It depends on the time of day. First of all, he knows when his testosterone level is high. Alpha men know all of that. Now, when you're dealing with a beta, which is a wannabe man, an alpha, he wants to be, he's still in the process of learning how to be a man. He's a bitch, pretty much. That's what a beta is. No, a beta is a dude who has a lot of feminine energy. And I don't think there's too many women out here who prefer to be with someone who has feminine energy opposed to masculine energy. I've got to be with a man who has masculine energy. A man who gets offended when you want to pay for your meal. Okay, a man who gets offended when you um he finds out you're the thought of the town and everybody done been up in that. Everybody done ran up in you. Yo, ma, what's up? An alpha male would never be seen in the street with a female who's not quality. Okay? This dude here, oh God, he's total alpha. From what I see, he makes great videos. At the same time, I don't know what he's like. I've talked to Derek Jackson. I've done one-on-one with Derek Jackson. Because he write books and stuff, and he's a writer, I'm a writer. I learn from him. So we talk, and I learn from him, through emails. And you do video chat. Man of my dreams? Yes. From what I see. But he's with the thing with him. I could never really be with. He's too young, and I'm not a cougar. He's young. He's not young enough to be my son. But I could damn sure keep him as a friend. He's a keeper when it comes to putting him in my friend box. Absolutely. Would I date him? No, he's too young. Is he smart as hell? Yes. Um, yeah, he's amazing. He's hot. Takes care of his body, all of that, educates women, very supportive of men and women. Dudes tend to think that he's leaning more towards women. He's not leaning more towards women. If he educate the woman, then he's going to help make a better man because it starts with the woman, and he's smart enough to know that. If the women start being better women, because a man can't go no farther than the woman permits him to go. So if the woman has boundaries and standards, the dudes will straighten up. And he's smart enough and alpha enough to know that. See how he's ahead of the game? That's a very wise dude. That's one of the reasons why I love Derek Jackson. I also love R.C. Blake. I love Matthew Hussey, Hussey, you know, because they're smart enough to know that if you educate the women and let the women know, it starts from you. That's how we're going to get these dudes straight. I love this dude. Anyway, let's get back when it comes to, like I said, where does the problem lie? Um, it has to start with the women. And like I said, the topic of this conversation, of this video, is should I stay or should I go? Anytime a dude is the problem in the relationship, should you continue to stay? Does that make you wife material, or does that make you floor mat material? Everyone is not supposed to be married. Everyone is not wife. Am I wife material? Yes, I am. I damn sure is. So some people say, if you're wife material, why have you been divorced twice? And you can say almost 3 times, because I was with my fiance for 9 years, getting ready to be married, but I didn't. Red lights. So if you're such wife material, why are you divorced? I'm divorced because I'm wife material. And if we had a world of women like me, we would have a world of nothing but good men, great men, because I'm wife material. I've actually been going out on some dates, to be. Check this out. Because, like I'm trying to tell you, I don't hate men. I don't. I've gone out on dates with men. I keep a record of each of the men that I date. I keep a record right here of each of the men that I date. The first dude I was with was Isaiah. Isaiah, hot, looked like Genuine. I don't know if you know what Genuine looks like. He's a hottie. Okay? He was an Aquarius. And where did I meet these dudes? Off of Facebook. You know, Facebook got where you could, whatever. And then I went out with Richard. And then I went out with Daryl. And then I went out with Jay. And then there was Daniel and Joseph and Gerald. Which ones did I decide to keep? I decided to keep Isaiah. Out of all these dudes that I've dated and I've gone out with, okay, listening to them, I never get in their car. I always meet them. I have, God knows, I always have the setup location. They automatically know to meet me at BAP. I use, because I don't drive, but I have Uber and I have Lyft, right? And they meet me at the location and we talk and blah, blah, blah. And I see how they behave to see whether they are alpha or beta. And so far, the only one that I met that was alpha was Isaiah. All the other ones were throwbacks. Richard, Daryl, Dale, Jay, Gerald, Daniel, Joseph. No. Dale was mad cool. He was cute. And these are different races of men, okay? Because I don't discriminate. I personally don't. I'm kind of done with black men, unless they're like Derek Jackson. And if we have dudes like Derek Jackson, I'm open. You know what I mean? But I've been going out there on dates. So when I make these videos to you, it's not like I'm a girl who has no experience to know what's out there, what's going on. No, I'm out there. I'm hanging out. I do dates. I do a lot of video chats with these dudes, And what makes them throwbacks is because, one, they're not alpha males. Two, they don't know, they have too much feminine energy. And when I'm dealing with a man who has feminine energy, I can't execute my feminine energy. The last time I checked, really, I thought I was the girl in this relationship. But when you have dudes who don't, first of all, let me tell you what I look for. When I come to the restaurant, do you take off my coat? Do you pull out the chair? When I get ready to go to the ladies' room, do you stand up? If I were to get inside the car, like when my Uber comes, they sit up there and open up the door for me? I like a man who opens up the doors for me. You see, that's what determines to me whether you're alpha or you're a beta, a loser. I look at all of that. I look at when the bill comes, and I always offer to pay my part. I always, because this is like the number one test. I always offer to pay. I say, you know what? Let me pay my half or whatever. And then you have some men. So far, I had two of them. That was Isaiah, and that was who was it? Dale. They was offended. The other guys, they had no problem with me paying my portion of the bill. This is our first date, mind you. Okay, so I paid my portion of the bill. Now, when it came to Isaiah and when it came to Joseph, it was Isaiah and Joseph, both biblical names. Isn't that funny? When it came to them and I offered to pay my portion of the bill, they were highly offended. They was like, "What? What? No, honey, I got this. Let you know, yo, slow your roll, ma, slow your roll, back up, slow your roll." They was like that. So when they insisted on paying the bill, I said, "Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a thank you. I had an amazing time." At the same time, at least let me pay the tip. So of course I paid the tip. I know that person was happy as hell because I did a nice tip. Or there's times when I'll say, okay, maybe you'll pay for the dinner and I'll pay for the drinks. Because if we're gonna have drinks, we can work it like that. Yo, yo, yo. But I'm trying to tell you, Richard, freak that throwback. Daryl, bye, B-I-T-C-H. Jay, see ya. Daniel, Gerald. I wish I could say it's been a pleasure. Actually, it hasn't been. And when I get home after those dates where they had no problem with me going and paying my part of the date, I got home and I blocked them. Block, 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 block. So some of them, they think they're slick. They call me from a different number. But little do they know is I don't answer numbers that I don't recognize. If I don't recognize your number, I don't answer it. How's that? Throwback. So yeah, like I said, I just don't pick up the phone calls of numbers that I don't recognize. And then they'll leave a voicemail. So why? What you did? What you blocked me? What you blocked me? What's going on? What's the problem? I thought we had a good time. Yeah, yeah, no, no. Actually, in my mind, I'm saying, no, sweetheart, you had a good time. Okay. The last time I checked, really, I'm the female in this relationship. But you have a lot of dudes out here who are living on the down low. And anytime you with a dude and you go out on a date and he doesn't want to pay for the date, I don't care what nobody say. Go ahead and say what you want to say. That's a clown who's on the down, especially no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And it just so happens that Isaiah and Joseph were not black. That's hurtful to me because that's like trying to say that that black dudes, they don't know how to treat a lady. They're so used to dealing with females who I'll pay for it. I'll do the no, 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 no. Isaiah was, what was he? Yeah, I don't even remember actually. Isaiah was, I think he was, I love Italian men. He was Italian and Joseph was, I don't remember what Joseph was. I don't remember what he was. But it just so happens that every time I went out with someone who was black, no offense, try not to be, no, not really, they don't know how to treat women. The only time they'll treat a woman, maybe give money, is if they feel that she's going to put out. I know this is a guaranteed she's going to put out. My question to that, my reasoning actually to that, why don't you just go get a prostitute? You can spend less than what we had on this dinner. Give the prostitute, these crackheads cost $5. Okay, if you want a little quality, spend $20, dude. Go get your stuff off. Sit there, do what you got to do, and that's the end of it. Go get yourself a crackhead, kid. Because when you step to me, you step to a lady, and you will treat me accordingly. Because anytime you take a female out to dinner and think that she's obligated to sleep with you, that's ridiculous. That's redunculous. Just go get yourself a prostitute. What's up? Thoughts are everywhere. What's the problem? Another thing, just go take a thought, pick her up off the street. She's been out there all night, whatever. She's ready to suck you off for $5. So if you say, yo, I'm gonna give you $5, freak that baby, get in the car. I'm taking you over to get something to eat at McDonald's. We can spend the $2 fucking, I don't, excuse me. No, I'm not going to let you treat, like I keep telling you, I told my tubies on numerous occasions, I have 5 brothers, okay? And when you have experience with men, 5 brothers who have shown me how men treat women that they value, I've seen how my brothers treated different women. I've seen the levels of how they treat different women. The women that they valued, they took to nice quality restaurants, Tavern on the Green. They took her to restaurants down in Midtown, because I'm from the city. I'm from Manhattan and the Bronx. And when you're doing Manhattan, Manhattan is high quality. They took her to the best of restaurants. When they was dealing with somebody that they didn't value, and they felt that she wasn't worth much of nothing, McDonald's, Burger King, walk in the park, anything that don't cost much of money. And so a person may look at me at this rate and say everything is about money, money. No, everything is not about. First of all, let me clear something up. I like Burger King. I like McDonald's. Make sure you take me in a good neighborhood, though. Because when I was in the city, I'm not doing no McDonald's or no freaking Burger King unless it's on Park Avenue, 5th Avenue, 86th Street, the best of the freaking McDonald's and whatever. You know? But I want to, no. Should I stay or should I go? I want you to realize, ladies, and I'm not talking about bum bitches. Excuse me. I'm not talking about trailer trash. I'm not talking about hood rats and ghetto pieces of, oh God, whatever. No, I'm talking about ladies. The way a man treat you is the way he feels about you. Okay? The way he treats you is the way he feels about you. And when a man really values you, he's going to open up them pockets. He's going to spend money on you. Everybody has different love languages. When it comes to a man, my love language is gifts. How much money do you spend on me? And it's also acts of service. You see, there are like 5 love languages. There's quality time that you spend with me. That's a love language. That's a love language for me too when it comes to my son and my daughter, my kids. Then there's acts of service. I need help moving. I'm getting ready to move. I need someone to help me. Can you help me? That's a love language, acts of service. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's for my friends. And then there's gifts. Gifts is a love language. How much money do you spend? How many gifts do you buy me? And the reason why, that's my granddaughter. My granddaughter ain't trying to hear it. She's Sagittarius. Her love language is, which I'm sure Nicki Minaj and all the rest, it's called gifts, sweetheart. Why? Because money, it's hard to come by. It takes a lot to come by money. And anytime a man, when it comes to a man, and if you don't believe me, check out R.C. Blake. And when he says, check this video out, please, so you can see that I'm not a chicken head and that I'm not being unreasonable. Just check this video out and then draw your conclusion. Okay? Check this video out. It's called, the name of this video is entitled, Why a Wise Woman is Always Concerned About a Man's Money, by R.C. Blakes. Because sometimes, when you hear things coming from a woman, you be like, yeah, well, that's just a woman's viewpoint. She don't really know what she's talking about. R.C. Blakes is a pastor, a very well-respected pastor, who is happily married for over, 30 years, 35 years? Okay? He's got the fairy tale, for real. And I don't trust too many pastors, because I've heard so many pastors who are crazy, and they are in bad standing. Especially they're all over the news. R.C. Blakes is amazing, and I know that there are a lot of folks out here who's going to discredit what I have to say, because you're saying that you sound like a chicken head. You sound like a this. You sound like a that. Really? Okay. So then at least work with me on this. Just check out that video. It's entitled, notice what it says here. Why a Wise Woman. You got a lot of women out here as stupid as, I want to curse. Why a wise woman? Are you a wise woman? Because if you're not a wise woman, then you're not wife material. Okay? But the name, again, allow me to emphasize this and stress this again. Why a wise woman is always concerned about a man's money. I want to say it again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold back, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to be like somebody. You always repeat yourself. You always repeat yourself when you're drinking. I'm not drinking now. I'm not drinking now. I don't have an ounce of alcohol in my body. I'm going to repeat this again. Why? You know what, to be honest with you, when I think about it, because the way I learn is through repetition. I learn through repetition, so I'm assuming that maybe other people learn through repetition too. That's why I'm going to say it again. It's called Why a Wise Woman is always concerned about a man's money, by R.C. Blakes. And after you listen to that video, then you tell me, should I stay or should I go? Okay, we're over an hour in this session here now. I'm going to get back to Derek Jackson, another man, because a lot of females, they don't value what a woman has to say. Dudes either. They don't either. I know a lot of men who don't care about what is being said because it's coming from a female. But how about this? You hearing it from other men. Other men. And I don't just have R.C. Blake and Derek Jackson, Matthew Hussey. I have a list of men. Doc Reed. Okay, DOCREID. How about that? Listen to his videos. That's coming from a male's perspective. Considering you say, well, you're a woman. What do you know about men? What do I know about men? I have 5 brothers. I was the only woman. I listened to my brothers. I've seen it. I didn't listen to it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have male, gay, straight. What do I know about men? I'm sorry. I don't know everything. Everything. At the same time, you're not going to take my word for it. So listen to Doc Reed, REID, R.C. Blakes, Derek Jackson, Matthew Hussey. Need I say more? I mean, come on already. Because you're going to have all of these pimp talking dudes saying, well, that you listen, you're saying things from a woman's perspective. What do you know about it? You're a female. What the hell do you know? What the hell do you know? And then your ammunition? That's what I do, baby. I give women ammunition to fight back. What do I know? Okay, how about this? Does this sound like this is coming from a female? And then you play Doc Reed. Does this sound like it's coming from a female? And then you play R.C. Blake. And then you play Carlos de Jesus, another amazing dude. Carlos de Jesus. And then you play Matthew Hussey, Hussey. Yo, and there's several men out here who are working their damnedest to help women because they have daughters. They have sisters, they have nieces, they have their mom who's back out there in the dating world and in the dating field. Okay, so you don't want to hear it from women because you feel, what do women know? They're not men. What the hell do they know? Okay, so let's listen to it from a male's perspective. But if you're going to listen to it from a male's perspective, make sure you're not listening to it from a pimp. You're not listening to it from a beta male. You want to listen to things from an alpha. An alpha male is, look at the way I do my arm. That's an alpha, baby. I'm an alpha female, and I do my feminine energy when it comes to being an alpha female. I am an alpha female. An alpha female is someone who has common sense. An alpha female is someone who beta men are intimidated by. They are very intimidated by you. An alpha female, let me tell you what an alpha female is. You know, I was getting ready to, what is an alpha female? Go on YouTube, type in Murphy Brown. That's an alpha female. An alpha female is Joyce Myers. She's been married for 35, 40 years. You see, you don't have to be single to be an alpha female. You can even be married and still don't lose yourself in marriage. Joyce Myers, I've been to her conventions. I've been to her conferences. She has her family working with. She has her husband who she loves. At the same time, she's still alpha. She's alpha because she hasn't lost herself. She still is not afraid. Oh man, let me tell you what an alpha female is. I'm gonna describe it to you. I'm gonna give you a little list. It's not much. It don't take much to be feminine and an alpha female. But an alpha female is this. This is what I am. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm back with you. I was trying to look it up, but I have a list. I have a list of what I consider to be an alpha female. An alpha female is someone you may have broken her heart, but you haven't broken her spirit. She is still strong. She's smart. She's independent. She is competitive. And when I say competitive, listen to me. I recognize that no man, he's out there in the world being competitive in terms of business. The last thing a man wants to do is come home to a competitive woman. And nobody wants that. When a man comes home, his home is his kingdom. What does a king do when he comes home? He relaxes, and he should, because, honey, he got a lot of decisions to make. His mind is filled with so much. His mind is not sitting up there thinking about, where's my next crack hit coming from? I need some weed. No, his mind is filled with, I have decisions to make to benefit the people. So, of course, the last thing he wants when he comes home is a competitive woman. I'm competitive. And when I say an alpha female is competitive, please, I'm only saying it in the sense of, like, when you play games, like if you play chess, a lot of women feel that I know the best move to just checkmate. But I don't do checkmate because I got to let him win. Because if I don't let him win, he's going to feel emasculated. Okay, whatever. I could kick his butt on this chess game, but I won't. I'm on the tennis court. Well, actually, that's going to take some doing because men have a lot of more, whatever. Or I'm sitting up here playing mental trivia questions. I love trivia. Right? And I got to pretend like I got to dummy down because I have to not be competitive because he's a man. And that's what I mean by being competitive. I don't mean by being competitive when he comes home, he has to, everything is no. Sometimes will I let him win? I'm competitive. My thing is, yo, I will back down, and I've learned I gotta let you win. I gotta make you win, let you feel win, like which is why I married my ex. I was with Gregory because Gregory don't want no charity. Hell no. Robert didn't want. They're both Taurus, and they have Aries. They like a challenge. I like those Aries, the Taurus Aries kind of Negroes, because they don't want you to sit up there and give them no charity cases. Hell no. If I'm going to win this, I'm going to win this. Which is why I was with my ex-husband for 11 years. One of the things that helped us because, yeah, and he used to kick my butt in a lot of things when it comes to challenging me. He kicked my butt, and then so I kicked his butt every now and again. Did I ever back down and let him win? Of course I did. Why? That's feminine, according to the way we're trained. Please. Okay, so like I said, if you want to understand what I'm talking about, go on YouTube and look at Murphy Brown. That's Sheila, true love. Competitive, ambitious, smart, funny. I'm very funny because I'm very animated. I have a very animated personality, and I can be telling you stuff just trying to be keeping it real, not even trying to be funny, and somehow it just cracks you the heck up. That's just the way I feel about things, but it cracks you the heck up. My son is like that. My son don't even be trying to be funny. That kid, man, he should have his own sitcom. Lewis is he's so, oh my God. I love my son. He's so brilliant. He's brilliant. And I absolutely love a lady, and I say lady in every sense of the word, who is not afraid to speak her mind. Because you have so many women who put up with so much abuse because they will not stand up for themselves or speak up for themselves. And that to me is, I can't respect a female. That's disgusting to me. Anyway, let's get back to Derek Jackson. This is when women have DM'd Derek Jackson, and he's going to tell you about when a woman has to raise her standards or she has to have standards. He's going to help you to hear in whatever. Here we go.
We love ourselves, we raise our standards, we do all of these things, but it ain't as easy as what you make it seem. So let me apologize for that. I may have painted an unrealistic picture of what it looks like whenever you raise your standards. So let me be 100% honest. There are consequences to raising your standards. There just are some. I think that's just with anything. The first consequence is you're going to run some guys off, particularly those guys that in the past you would date them and they would already be engaged to somebody. You would date them and they would still be in love with or fucking their ex. You would date them in 2 or 3 weeks. They tell you that they're just not ready for a relationship, or maybe after a couple of months or even a year or two, you run into that dead end of things they never resolved, daddy issues, mommy issues, not wanting to move forward, the worst of them coming out, or them just showing their real colors. These guys, 90% of them anyway, you're going to run off the moment that you raise your standards, like at the door. No longer will they walk in and then be able to waste your time. At the door, you're going to already start running them off. That's one of the consequences. So if you like a lot of company and all of that, raising your standards may not be for you. Okay? The second thing is whenever your friends, and maybe even your family, whenever they see you running these guys off, they're going to call you all kind of names. Maybe you stuck up. Maybe you want too much. You crazy. You doing, why won't you give anybody a chance? They're going to try to make you feel crazy for not giving any and everybody a chance, more specifically a chance to waste your time, because that's what you're not doing whenever you raise your standards. These are also the same friends that feel like a man is better than no man. And by the A stands for any old ragged ass dude. And then whenever they're with their any old ragged ass dude getting treated any old ragged ass way, these are the same friends that are going to come to you for advice about how to maintain or regain your peace. that you have somehow and surprisingly with no man to give it to you because you found it on your own. Okay? The third consequence is that you're going to have more time to invest in you. You're going to have a whole lot more time on your hands to invest in you, your mental health, your well-being, reading books, invest into your hustle, your grind. By hustle and grind, I mean your business or product or whatever it is, your side hustle, whatever it is that you got going on, those relationships with family and friends that maybe you haven't been really putting a lot of energy into. You're going to have a lot more time on your hands because you're not going to be wasting it with a man who's giving you nothing but excuses about why he can't grow up. A boy, should I say, that's giving you excuses about why he can't grow up. You're not going to be using that time anymore stressing over a dude that's out in events and clubs and in the streets, toying with your heart and toying with your reputation. You're just going to have a lot more time on your hands. So if you have a problem with that, if you just love to stay busy with just anything willing to waste your time, raising your standards, may not be for you. The fourth thing I'll say is, you're going to be a lot more attractive to real men. So that requires you to know what to look for. And I have videos dealing with that. So, just check those out. But that requires you to know what to look for when it comes to dealing with a real man and how to recognize a real man. And also being able to make a decision when a real man comes. But you're going to be a lot more attractive to the guy that says, you know what? If she raises her standards, that's clearly a direct reflection of what kind of value she puts on herself. And if she puts a high amount of value on herself, then I know I have to because she's setting the tone. You know what I mean? Like, these are the guys that understand, like, when they bring a woman home to their mom, it can go one of two ways. Either the mother is going to be proud of him for that woman that he brought, or she's going to side-eye him. Same thing with his friends. If they're real men as well, it can go one of two ways. Either they're going to salute him for finding a real one and locking that down, or they're going to have pity on him. It's going to be shame on him for who he brought around, And being a good look to the people that mean the most to a man, that matters. But it doesn't matter nearly as much. Being a good look doesn't matter nearly as much as being a good fit for his life and what he's trying to do. And real men have this thing. They're usually trying to achieve things on a financial level, on a personal level, on a mental and spiritual level, and real women fit perfectly into that. So whenever you raise your standards, right, and you hone in and embrace the realness within you, you're going to be more attracted to these guys. So, just, in the interest of honesty, I hope I laid that out plain and clear.
He did nothing but lay that out plain and clear. Am I correct? For women, it's everything that I've been trying to convey. You have alpha men and you have beta. Betas are losers. Beta means being a loser. And alpha, A plus, like you work like a dog in school to get A plus. Everyone wants A plus. An alpha male will never be caught out there with no goddamn thought. No, what? Everybody in the freaking neighborhood has ran up in that, and you know, I gotta kind of little backtrack. Everybody that ran up in that because women have been through a lot. People have been through it. People change. Look, even if the woman has been through a lot, and God knows they have, but she turned her life over to God. She's different now. Okay, okay. But let me tell you about an alpha male. An alpha male does not downgrade. He never downgrades. He has quality. An alpha male, as you listen to Derek Jackson, okay, I love him, Jaxn. He doesn't even spell his name like you would actually spell the Jackson name. Jaxn is his name, Derrick. Check out his videos, okay? End point of all of this conversation that we having, should I stay or should I leave? Is he an alpha male? Then you stay. Is he a beta? Beta? That's a bum, bitch. No, we're going to leave. Because an alpha male, he doesn't cheat. Cheaters cheat. A man doesn't, if people say, do all men cheat? Honey, men don't cheat, cheaters cheat. Okay? Do women cheat? Cheaters cheat. Okay? And you have to look at what is their history, what is their pattern. Do you have a pattern of cheating? you talk to them. That's the purpose of dating, to get to know a person. So what's going on? What happened to your last relationship? Like I told you, I just got through gone, man. I got a list. Check out this list for real. Look at this list. Look, I'm gonna hold it here so you can pause it and look. I've been on some dates, honey, so I can tell you what's going on out there. I've been out with Isaiah, Richard, Darrow, Jay, Gerald, Daniel, and Joseph. Two that were keepers, and I say keepers, and I'm gonna put them in my friend toy box. And then the rest, I threw them away because they were baiters. They had too much feminine energy. They wanted to have the woman treat them like they were the girl. And when I had Isaiah and I had Joseph, they knew, they took offense to, if you're trying to pay for this bill. They was like, Joseph and Isaiah, they open up my, because I take Uber and what is that, Lyft, because I don't drive, because I'm not getting in nobody's car if I don't know you. So I always set the destination like I live in Albany, New York, and I always have my destination at the same spot for every Uber, whatever. And that's where I meet them. And then when the date is over, I let them, they say, let me drive you home. Let me take you home. And I let you drive me home because then you have my address. So the location that I'm at, you know what I'm saying? So I always say, thank you, honey. I appreciate that. But I already have an Uber, or I have my Lyft on, I have my driver on the way. And then when my Uber person comes or whatever, they walk me out. And then I see whether they let me open the door or do they open the door. Joseph, Isaiah open the door. Richard, Darrow, Jay, Gerald, Daniel, whatever. Throwbacks. They didn't even know how to conduct themselves like a gentleman. So, and another thing with those other guys, they had no problem when they brought back the check. And I said, "Oh yeah, let me pay my part of the check. You know, I had such a great evening with you. Let me pay my part." And they was like, "Okay, babe, okay." And so they had us break up the separate. No, when it came to Isaiah and when it came to Joseph, when I said, "Let me pay my part of the check, let me do my part," they was offended, and they was like, "What?" Honey, please, please, no, let me do this. Stay, please. So I said to Isaiah and Joe, I said, okay, thank you so much for dinner. I insist on leaving the tip. I always insist on at least leaving the tip. And then they're like, okay, they're not even happy with that. Okay? And the sad thing about it is Joseph, they was not black. They were not black. All the black men, they'll sit up there and let you pay for your go ahead. That's cray cray. The black men, they don't know how to open up car doors. Or when you go into a restaurant, it's wintertime now. It's December. Today is what the hell, right? So when you get to the restaurant, you're supposed to take the lady's coat off, and because normally at the restaurant they have this hook thing or whatever the hell you can hang your coat up on. I guess it depends on what restaurant you're on. They used to go into McDonald's where you take your coat off and you sit it right there with you. No, when you go to a quality restaurant, you take off your coat and they have this hanging place where you hang up the coat. And then you're supposed to know how to pull out the chair for the lady. Black men don't have a clue. And that's sad. At the same time, I bet you when it comes to them taking out any other race of women, because I'm an ebony woman, and I was with a black dude. He ain't no ebony, nothing. Ebony means beautiful. Ain't nothing beautiful about that clown. Because if it was another race of woman, he would have pulled out her seat. He would have hung out. No, but I'm an ebony woman. I am your own nation. Okay? You make points for the other team and do everything to be impressive for somebody else's whatever, dude, but your own team. Do you know how to pull out a chair for a lady? Do you know how to open up car doors? Do you know how when we get to the destination, you're supposed to get out of the car, go around and open up her door. Okay? That's not old school. That's called a man being an alpha. That's called a gentleman. That's called alpha. Okay? I bet you pimps know that. Pimps. And God knows they got their game tight half the time. What's up? When a woman is getting ready to go to the ladies' room, I'm getting ready to go to the ladies' room. You're supposed to stand up. It's called respect. You're supposed to say, I say, honey, I'm going to the ladies' room. He's supposed to stand up. Why? Because it's the gentlemanly thing to do. If there's other men at the table, they stand up when the woman is getting ready. It's called gentlemanly thing. You say that's all old school. Yeah, you're old school. Yeah, you know what? I think most females want old school. Yeah, because it makes them feel special. What's wrong with making someone feel special? Do I not make you feel special when you come back to my house and you like to have Hennessy? You already told me you like Hennessy, so I automatically know when you come to my house, I have Hennessy there. Do I not make you feel special when you sat up there and told me that your joints, your shoulders are hurting and your body is aching? Do I not make you feel special? Yeah, I'm going to give you a massage and there will be no sex included, son. I know you figured that's the way it's going to lead. Why? Because those are the kind of females you're used to. Thoughts. You're not used to being with a lady. You said your back hurt and I brought you back. I got Hennessy because I enjoyed the date. That's another thing that freaks me the hell out. They be like, well, when you invite a man back to your house and it's like 12 o'clock or past 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, what do you expect to happen? What I expect to happen, having been raised as a Jehovah's Witness, let me tell you what I expect to happen. I expect that we had such a good date and we didn't want it to end. It felt great. It was amazing. And yes, I brought you back to my home for more of the date. I enjoyed your company. And do we sleep together? Hell yeah, we sleep together. Is there sex involved? Hell to the freaking no. Why? Because I have morals, Trek. I'm ready to curse you out, beta. You know what a beta is, bitch. No, I enjoyed the date. I enjoyed your company. I don't want it to end. I want to cuddle. You know what cuddling is? I like you to stay with me for the night because I enjoyed your company. As for you pulling out, no. Connected to my JJ is my heart. Do you not honestly realize that there are females who are actually out there like that? No. You sit up here and automatically assume, well, you invited me into your back, after the date. You sat up there and invited me to your house, so what did you think was going to happen? Well, what did I think was going to happen as a Christian? As a woman who was raised the way I was raised? What I thought was going to happen was we was going to continue to enjoy the date. We was going to wake up in the morning and have an amazing breakfast. And we were going to continue having an amazing date. We was going to continue. I don't know. I'm going to go take my shower. I know your butt ain't trying to join me in the shower because you know I'm a Christian, dirtbag. So I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to smell amazing. I'm going to go in the kitchen. And, no, we're going to sit there. It's the morning. It's the freaking morning. What do you do in the morning? As a Christian, when you slap some dude sleep over in the morning, we wake up. Hi, you. It's great. And we just got through cuddling, watching a great movie through the evening. That felt great because I needed that. Intimacy is a beautiful thing. Did I expect for you to sit up here and I know in the morning how your penises are going on. So if you got that kind of action going on and you can't go, you take your ass, excuse me, I get it. Go in the bathroom, close the door, get your cell phone, do what you got to do, hopefully cartoon porn, because we're going to try to work this Christian thing going on. Cartoon, handle your shit. Yeah, you relieve that tension because I get it. No, What do I expect in the morning when I wake up with a dude that I slept with you overnight? I expect for me to get up in the morning. Hi, good morning, you. Hey, you. I give him a kiss on his cheek or his forehead. And his forehead. And I get up and I go make some breakfast. What do I expect for him to do? I expect for him to have some projects that he's working on. That's why I don't deal with dudes who don't have male friends. They don't have no hobbies. They don't have no projects that they're working on. I like Virgos. And I'm not talking about their sun is a Virgo. I like a Virgo who their moon is in Virgo or their Mercury is in Virgos. Because Virgos, Tyler Perry. I rest my case. Tyler Perry, he always got something he's working on. Something he's up some project or some crazy whatever the hell he does. Oprah Winfrey type people, when their moon is in Virgo, their Mercury is in Virgo, work, Capricorn, their moon is in Capricorn. No, I don't need nobody who's got to have, what's up? I wake up in the morning when I spent the night with you because I had an amazing night with you previously. It was great. I didn't want it to end. No, it don't end up in sex. What are you, a nut job? I was raised. You got to do this when you're dating someone. I was raised as a Christian, Jehovah's Witness. That's a cult. It don't get no more cultier than that. And when I invite you to sleep over, Joe, or you say, yo, Sheila, it's 12 o'clock midnight, 3 o'clock, I can't sleep. Can I come over? And then I'll say, because I have this little innocent mind, this little pure mind, I'll be like, hell yeah. Yeah. Because you need somebody to hold you. You need somebody to cuddle with. I get it. When it comes to you pulling out your penis and all this crazy, no, I'm not trying to feel that. Why? Because I wasn't raised that way. Do you understand that? And then you're going to no. I can you know. I have projects that I'm working on. I'm interested in. You came over here. You got your laptop. Oh, you ain't got to have a laptop. Use mine. I got my tablet and whatever. Go do what you do. And if you don't have any of that, like my ex-husband, he didn't have nothing. He didn't know nothing. So I showed him stuff. What did I do? I could show you some of the most beautiful pictures that I have in my home. Tubies, puzzles. And he put these puzzles together and we put them in the really nice frames. We put them in frames because he'd have no interest. He'd have no projects he was working on. So I kind of helped give him some projects. Everything is not about sex. No, you come here, you're going to sit there and I'm cook. I love to cook. What man, I'm sorry, what man do you know that prefers a meal out of a packet, a frozen microwave, opposed to a home cooked meal? Not too many. I'm cooking. I'm in the kitchen cooking. A lot, but I've seen a lot of the videos lately, yo. A lot of these women are cooking too, but they got these skimpy outfits and they're sexy as hell. And I don't do the sexy thing. I need to up my game because when I'm cooking, I just be like, whatever. Focus on making the best meal. I'm putting my love into it. It's wow. I really need to step up my game because yeah, but I think you pretty much get where I'm going with this. Nah, everything I don't sexualize. I don't sexualize everything. I just don't. I am cerebral. I love a man. If a man wants to turn me on and excite me and bring the freak out, and Sheila true love, bring the freak out. I mean, crazy freak out in me. Let it be a man who likes to read. A man who, if he's not reading books manually, then he does audio videos. I got a couple of audio books. I'm going to share that with you briefly. Hold on. Check this out. Audio books. You probably didn't even know they existed. Check this out. There are audio books that are free on YouTube that you probably were not aware of. You want to excite Sheila True Love, you have to first excite my mind. If you can excite my mind, my body is a slave. One of the books that they have is The Game of Life and How to Play It. It's a book that's 2 hours and 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay, that's one book. Check this out. These are audio books. Check this out. Hold up, hold up. They got all these books, and I listen to my TV. I turn my TV off if I'm watching TV because I usually listen to jazz because I like to read, listen to jazz. I come home from work. I take off all my clothes. I unpill. I do what I do. I gotta cook, straighten up the home, what have you. At 9 o'clock, like a ritual, I turn the TV off and I read. Or if I'm not in the mood to read because I just don't feel like it, I really just don't feel like it, then I do audiobooks. Let me tell you the wisdom of psychopaths. Are you excited? As I am. They got books like this. 100 ways to motivate yourself. This is all on YouTube. Just type in 100 ways to motivate yourself audiobooks. Turn the TV off at 9 and just listen to it on your phone, man. Just YouTube. Just listen to it while you're going to sleep. And after every chapter, like I love a man who loves to read. And after every chapter that he finished, after every chapter, he tells me we're sitting down eating dinner. So we always have conversation. You see where I'm going with this? It's always intellectual conversation. It's always interesting. It's always the way he presents it because a lot of times they can present it because I've dealt with a lot of Gemini. Gemini, oh man, Virgo, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Capricorns are funny as hell. When you sit around and have a conversation with a Libra, Libras are smart, they're highly intellectual, they're brilliant. Taurus, down to earth if they're readers. Check out the other game. The Game of Life and How to Play It. Okay. How to Make Anyone Fall in Love with You. If you're interested in that. I'm not so interested in that. I don't care. How about this one? This is amazing. And I think that this should interest everyone. 100 ways to motivate yourself. Change your life. Who doesn't want to motivate themselves? And sometimes you just don't want to read it. You don't want to read it. There's audio books. And after every chapter that you've read, just talk about it with me. Share it with me. You see where I'm going with this? Okay. I'm not going to say anything else. The number one book that everyone should read is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And it's all small stuff. This is a book that's 4 hours. So you're not going to live it. You just turn it on when you're sleeping. That's all. Turn off the TV. Get your phone. Go on YouTube. Oh. If you were sexually abused by a priest turn off the TV at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is a ritual, even if you don't want to. But think about it. If you turn the movie off at 9 o'clock, you can always turn it back on. It ain't going nowhere. You can just see it again tomorrow. Start from where you left off. That's how you get Sheila True Love. If you want me in the sack after 7 months. Anyway, I wanted to finish up this video with Derek Jackson. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay with someone who's not my equal mentally, emotionally, morally, spiritually? I ain't worried about sexually because we could work that out. But when it comes to spiritually and morals and emotionally, we've got to be on the same page, people. Mentally, I need that. Mentally, I'm a Capricorn. On a scale of 1 to 10, when it comes to brilliance, I'm a 12. Okay? I'm a 12. And who can measure up to me? Virgo. Gemini. Who else? Virgo and Gemini are good. Oh, Aquarius. I work with Libra because Libra's stupid, crazy, smart too. Really. Those are the ones who are equivalent to me mentally. Okay? And then you have those who I could hang out with emotionally, which is Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. I don't even have to think about that when it comes to that emotional thing. I need Aquarius, Capricorn, Pisces, and Sagittarius. Because those are the four sides. I could talk straight. I don't have to sugarcoat stuff. They're mentally adults. Emotionally, who can I deal with emotionally? Oh, God, help us all with that emotional thing because I'm such a logical person. Emotional, I can do Libra, emotional. I can do Libra. I can do, we got Cancer. Cancer, I can't even work with Cancer emotionally because to me, Cancer's okay, I'm sorry. I could do Cancer, Aries, Libra, emotionally. We're talking. Um, what else can I do emotionally? Yeah, I could work with Scorpio. I could do Scorpio. Actually, I could do Scorpio mentally and emotionally because Scorpio, they know what's up. They just freaking get it. But when it comes to my emotional thing, like your moon has got to either be in Cancer, Aries, Scorpio, uh, whatever, emotionally. But I'm not an emotional person. So you see where we have a problem here? I'm a logical person. So logically, I could definitely work with oh God, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Pisces, a Virgo. Um Nah, I need that. I'm trying to help you understand me, and all you got to do is go on Google, and when they say your moon is in Leo, my moon is in Leo, honey. Your moon is who you already are. Okay, your sun sign is who you're getting ready. You're working to become, and by the time you're 40. You should be in your sun sign. Okay, like sun sign is when you're 40. Between 40 and 60. That's when you should be in your sun sign. Your moon, automatically, that's who you are. My moon is in Leo. But the thing I don't like about it when they say about Leo, Leo wants attention, 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 always got to be the center. No, because you got to keep in mind that my sun is in Capricorn, my Mercury is in Capricorn. So that kind of calms down that Leo part. A Leo wants attention, not the way that they say it in these books or whatever. A Leo want attention. If I do the hard work and I put work in, do I want to be, how you say, valued? I don't want your validation because I don't need it. Oh, how arrogant is that? I don't need your validation. But for you to value the hard work that I just did, hell yeah, I want the attention for that. So when people sit up here and think that they understand Leo, when you say your moon is in Leo, first of all, you have to understand something about Leo. Leo is the lion. That is the king and the queen of the jungle. Whenever I meet a Leo, I always back down. I always back down. I know how to handle a Leo. That is the king. That is the queen. My moon is just in Leo. Your sun is in Leo. That's who you're going to become. You're going to become that by the time you're 40, honey. You are full blown Leo. And you are the king and the queen. Are you supposed to take the lead? Are you a follower? No. Are you a leader? Hell yeah. We had our first black president. Okay, how old was he when he became the first black president? He is a Leo, the king of the jungle. You better recognize. It took for the first black president. It took a Leo, the king of the jungle, to pull that off. And what did it do? A man, who was his wife? A Capricorn. His wife was Michelle Obama. That was a Capricorn, a woman who's focused. She's a workaholic. She went to Harvard. She was totally Ivy League, totally polished. She knew how to make the impossible, the first black president. She knew how to make the impossible possible. Martin Luther King, come on, let's keep it real. That was a Capricorn. Yo, can we talk? Joan Rivers, can we talk? That took a strong person who's not emotional. I don't have time for emotion. Excuse me. And I do cry. I'm not a robot or whatever. At the same time, I know how to keep things properly checked. Our first black, they could say his mama was this, his mama. I don't give a damn about that mama. His mama was this, his mama was that. Because when you think about the bathroom, colors only. When you think about the water fountain, colors only. Which fountain would Obama have been allowed to drink from or go into? He would have only been allowed to go to colors only. Take a look at what he looks like. That's a black man. Okay? That was a Leo, baby. It took a first black. That was a Leo. The king of the jungle. What is the jungle? The jungle is the world. When a lion walks into the jungle and he roars, everybody falls into place. You better know it. And when I meet Leo people, I already know how to handle a Leo. I give them mad respect. I get it. And I know you people say that's the horoscopes. You don't know. You say all of that. You're a Christian. You're not supposed to be talking about that. You know what? I don't worship the stars, the moon, and all of that. I don't do that. I see this as psychology. So for you to tell me not to do this, that's the same thing. Don't do psychology then. No, there's a lot of truth to this stuff when you are educated enough to know how to work it. Because people say, well, I'm a Capricorn. I'm supposed to be with a Taurus. That's what I was thinking in the beginning before I understood how to work it. But now that I know, forget that sun sign crap. You better look at the moon and your Mercury and the Mars. You want to know if a person's going to cheat on you? You better look at the Mars, sweetheart. Because if their Mars is in a fire sign or an air sign, they're a cheating bastard. If their Mars is in an earth sign and a water sign, then you have yourself someone who's faithful. And the reason why I hang with this is because I don't like to waste my time. I want to know what I'm walking into. I want to know. Am I going to sit here and waste my time with you? And of course, you have to take into consideration, because I'm not a fool. You have to take into consideration, what has this person been through? Do they have, like, their brain is fried from drugs? Is this person, how about this, a borderline personality? So you can't just look at the sign and say, well, this is this. No, because this person is mentally ill. When it comes to these sign things, we're talking about people who are mentally healthy. We're talking about people who are mentally healthy, people who have not been traumatized. Have I been traumatized? Yes, I have been. I've been traumatized by my children. And when I say traumatized, I'm talking about psychological, yeah, I have been traumatized. And when I say yes, I have been traumatized, what I mean by traumatized is I have been severely psychologically shocked. That's also another form of PTSD. I've gotten PTSD from Gregory, the man I loved. I got PTSD psychologically. I mean, severely psychologically shocked from my children. My children, I was freaking out. You could actually throw your mother away. You could actually, because of what some man-made religion tells you to do, you could actually throw your mother away. Psychologically shocked. Oh yeah. I was psychologically shocked when it comes to my children. When it comes to, anything good that happens to you, you would expect your family to be happy for you. And you would think that your family, your children want to see their mother happy and cheerful and animated and all the up. But anytime you have children who every time their mom is happy and she's cheerful and she's pleasant and she's totally animated. And when I say animated is fun and it's great. And that gets on their nerve. I was traumatized by that. I really was traumatized by my children because I had no idea that my kids really could really one throw me away. You could sit up there and be without me for 3 years, not talking to your mom. You could sit up there and be without me for a month with just saying, "Mom, what really?" I don't care what we may have been going through. It's called we go into counseling to remedy that situation. The same way you see a lot of these women who are in relationships with dudes who are narcissists, dudes who are borderline, dudes who are sociopaths. Women will work like hell to hang on, but you wouldn't do that for your mother. And when I saw that my children wasn't willing to do that for me, I was totally, severely, psychologically shocked. That was PTSD for me. When I lost Gregory, I was suicidal because I was just like, really, really, really. The man had a illness, a health issue, and I put my life out there for that kid, yo. And you could sit up there and cutthroat me and cheat on me and cut my throat, stab me. That was total, severe psychological shock for me. My first marriage, I was this girl who believed in my husband, as all wives are supposed to. I would say my husband would never cheat on me because I was new. I was a wife. I lost my virginity to him. I had his 2 children. I was like, my husband would never cheat on me. Not my husband. I was doing everything I was taught from the Bible as a wife because you figure if I do good, then good things are going to happen for me, right? You just believed in that. Yeah, he cheated on me. That freaked me out. Guess where I ended up? In the hospital where I had almost tried to kill myself because I believed in my husband so much. A wife is supposed to believe in her husband. She's supposed to. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Those were the three, how you say, PTSD moments that Sheila True Love have experienced. Severe psychological shock. So tell me, when it comes to you go through all of this, yo, it's a lot. It's a freaking lot. Should I stay or should I leave? You know what else was a psychological severe shock for me? When my daughter, she moved thousands and thousands of miles away from me, right when I'm getting up there in age. You know what I'm saying? That's when she decided to say, gotta go. She's at a certain age where she may need, how older people get, they need this, they need that. That's when she decided to move away. Okay? And a lot of people would say that there's nothing wrong. Kids are supposed to progress and they're supposed to, try to do better for themselves. And I agree. At the same time, don't sit around here and judge fathers for making babies and leaving them. I made babies with you, but I'm leaving because I have to look out for my happiness. The last time I checked, love is about making sacrifices. Sometimes you just have to make sacrifices. Like my kid's father, he left. You know what he said? I'm not going to hang out with these kids. I'm not going to stay here. Give up my life? He said, I'm going to give up my life. They're not going to give up their life for me. They're not going to give up their life for me. Guess what? He was right. My kids would never give up their life for me. I don't want you to give up your life for me. As a mentally healthy parent, you shouldn't want your kids to give up their life for you. At the same time, there's certain things that I think a parent, especially when they're getting older, you don't just pick up and leave, because that's equivalent. Let's keep it real here. Let's keep it real. That's equivalent to men who make babies with you and they pick up and they leave. Because why? They want to be happy. They're not going to be happy being stuck with raises no babies and no kids. They're not going to be happy with that. So they have the right, and nobody should blame them. Am I correct? Nobody should blame them for picking up and leaving because having this baby over here, I gotta sit here, I gotta be with you, I gotta raise this kid. This kid is gonna go through all of these changes when he becomes, especially if it's a boy, he's gonna want to know this, I gotta go. It's too much pressure. It's just too much pressure. And what is life all about? Everybody is trying to be happy. Everybody is trying to do what's best for themselves. Forget sacrifice. What's that? My daughter decided to walk off and leave and go to some freaking 9,000 billion miles away right when I was old. My thing is, let me tell you why I'm angry with that. Because I've looked at a lot of videos where kids have left home when they was 15, 14, 15. My kids have been working since they was what, 14, 15 with their working papers? Why didn't you leave home then when I was in my 30s? Why didn't you leave home when I was in my 30s? You know what I'm saying? Why do you sit up here and you wait until I get at a certain age and then you say, oh, gotta go. She's at an age where she's probably going to need this. She's probably going to need that. I gotta go. Gotta bounce. So what's the difference between you and your father? What's the difference? There is no difference. He did what was best for him with no regard for what was the proper thing to do for his children, his creation. Because life is all about what? Being happy. We have to try to be happy. Screw making sacrifices, you know what I'm saying? I should have been just making sacrifices where I could be happy, leave these goddamn kids with their daddy, and went off to California with Linda Trompetto, which is what I wanted to do. To be honest with you, Tubies, I did. I had the opportunity to just go to California, start my life, and it would have been amazing. But I couldn't because Linda didn't want to have I had 2 kids. I couldn't do that. So I had to make a sacrifice. Anyway, should I have stayed or should I have left? God knows everybody else is leaving. Anyway, this is Sheila True Love. This is almost 2 hours. And I don't know, this has been a much, no. You know, you know what saddens me when it comes to my family situation? Because as you know, if you looked at my previous videos, I've been in this Jehovah's Witness cult. It's a man-made organization. You're going to sit up here and be with a man-made organization that tells you to throw your mother away, and you will, regardless of all the hard work I've put in and all the whatever. Was I perfect? Did I do everything right? No. Who does? Nobody does. But I'm not going to say but. How about this at the same time? It's just the thing that hurts me more than anything, Tubies, is that they made me out to be the fool, and they made their father, the one who left, and said, I'm not sticking around for these kids because they're not going to give up their life for me. He was the smart one. They made him to be the wise one, and they made me to be the fool. I'm the one who stuck around to raise these amazing. They're both amazing. I got to give it to you. They're winners. Both of them are winners, thanks to Jehovah God, Jesus Christ, and just using me as a vessel. But I bet you one thing, baby, every goal that I set for those kids, they've achieved it. I bet you that. At the same time, do I feel like a fool? Yes. I feel like Felix was the wise one. That's their father's name, the wise one. And I was the fool. You know? It was like he was psychic or something. He automatically knew. Even though my daughter, she kept trying to get her dad, let me do this, let me pay for your drug habit, let me do this. Felix was smart enough to know, you're not doing this because you love me. You're doing this because you're trying to recruit me to be a Jehovah's Witness. You just trying to get me into this cult. You didn't come at me for love reasons. You came at me to try to get me into this cult. And Felix, her dad, was smart enough to recognize that setup. He knew it wasn't love. At the same time, and I'm going to end it like this, should I have stayed or should I have just bounced? I should have. What do I say? If I could do it all over again, I would take my son and my daughter and I would give them to their dad and let their dad raise them. And I want them to see, would you be where you are now? Would you be where you are now had you been raised by Felix? Every time you want to try to, I don't know, diminish and talk about how bad of a parent I was, okay, that's okay. I understand. Yeah, to some extent. No, actually, I don't understand because that's sick. That's grimy. No, you wouldn't be where you are now, had it not been for having an amazing and a great mother like me. Upon that note, this is Sheila True Love, truly loving you, and always I gotta keep it real. As much as I try to contain myself and not say the truth, I can't help but say it. You know, Holy Spirit is heavy on me. It really is. This is Sheila True Love, truly loving you always. Until the next time, bye for now.